I would like to call the January 11th, 2024 regular board meeting to order at 6 p.m. At this time, I will lead us in an invocation. Heavenly Father, thank you for this gorgeous day and this opportunity to come together and conduct school business. Lord, please look after our students, faculty, staff, and all of our families moving forward. And one family in particular, the family of Tommy Pye and Alumnus Pickens High School, please look after Mr. Pye's family at this time of loss. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
At this time, I'll ask Mr. Joe Williams to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Also, I would like to thank our greeters for tonight's meeting. Miss Angie Kretschmar, principal at Hill City Elementary, and Matt Combs, principal at Pickens High School. Matt, you're getting a disproportionate amount of these.
I'm all right with it.
You're doing a great job.
Please give me a place to stand.
He's a good towel boy.
The next item is approval of the agenda. Dr. Thomas, do we have any amendments to this agenda?
Yes, sir, we do. Each year in January at our first regular board meeting, the board members must select a new chair and a vice chair for the coming year. So I'd like to add selection of school board chair for 2024 as agenda item 5 or Roman numeral V, and selection of school board vice chair for 2024 as agenda item 6 or Roman numeral VI.
Very good. Do I have a motion to amend the agenda as noted?
So moved.
Mr. Williamson? Do I hear a second?
Second.
Ms. Gibson? Is there any discussion? I will add that I did inform the board earlier that I wish they would select a new chair for this term. So this is a group decision. All in favor? Dr. Thomas, I will turn this meeting over to you.
Okay, sure. Board policy BBA states that the Pickens County Board of Education shall elect by majority vote a chairperson and vice chairperson annually at the first meeting of the board each calendar year. Each such officer shall hold office until their successor has been elected. So I'd like to open the floor for nominations for school board chairperson for 2024.
Dr. Thomas, at this time, I'd like to nominate Steve Lowe as board chair.
Are there any other nominations? Do I have a motion to close nominations for the 2024 board chair position?
Move.
So move, Mr. Wigginton. Do I hear a second? Any further discussion? All in favor? Please raise your hand. 5-0. Thank you. So all in favor of Mr. Steve Lowe serving as board chair for 2024, please signify by raising your hand. Got 4 yeses. Any noes? Any abstain?
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Mr. Steve Lowe has been elected to serve as the Pickens County Board of Education Chair for the year 2024. I'll now turn the meeting over to our newly elected chair.
I get to return to my corner from whence I came a year ago.
This is a fun corner.
And stay past the Snickers over here.
Pass the Snickers. Pass the Snickers. All right. All right. Well, I'm excited about serving. I'm excited about being a part of this board, and so we'll continue now. Next on the agenda is the selection of school board vice chair for 2024. So I'd like to open the floor for nominations for school board vice chair for 2024.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to nominate Amy Gibson to serve as vice chair of our board.
Okay. Do we have any other nominations? Okay. Do I have a motion to close nominations for the 2024 Board Vice Chair positions?
So moved.
Okay. And do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay. Is there any further discussion? Okay. All in favor?
You have to abstain.
Do I abstain the next one or that one?
That.
That one, well then I'll take that up.
All right, so 4. And do we have any abstains? 1. Okay. Okay. All right, all in favor of Amy Gibson serving as our Board Vice Chair for 2024, please signify by raising your hand. That's, okay, 4 and 1 abstention. Very good. All right. All right. Amy Gibson has been elected to serve as our Vice Chair for 2024. You know, guys, I just make a note to you guys. We kind of talked about this because we're pretty united in what we do, and we didn't think anybody needed to. We were going to share these responsibilities because we're working well together. So I'm excited about doing that. Appreciate Tommy's service last year in doing that, since 3 of us were new on the board. Okay. So now we're going to have some, next on the agenda is recognitions for our Dragon Strong Award. And so I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Parker.
Actually, I'll say something.
Okay.
So we're beginning something new here in 2024. It's called the Dragon Strong Award Program. And it's in honor of our teachers, our support staff members, and students from all grade levels and disciplines who are improving student achievement, using innovative strategies in the classroom, and making a difference in the lives of Pickens County School District students. There will be 2 Dragon Strong Award winners each month, and you earn this distinction by being nominated. As anyone can nominate, and these nominations are reviewed by our Human Resources and Communications team, who then selects the recipients. So this month, our Dragon Strong Awards will go to a high school student and one of our food service personnel. At this time, I'll turn it over to our Assistant Superintendent, Chris Parker. He'll read the nominations for our first ever Dragon Strong Awards.
Thank you, Doug Thomas. We've got thousands of great students, hundreds of great employees. Excited to have a program where we can bring at least 2 every month to highlight. Today we'll start out with our first ever, how about that? Dragon Award for Jennifer Hoffard, who's Food Service Assistant Manager at the high school. And if you've ever been to a game, you know her. Okay, so since we don't get to see these people every day, unfortunately, we went out and got comments from people that see them every day. And Jennifer's boss, Miss Andrea, is the manager's here, and she's supporting her. And Beth Thompson is our food service director in school nutrition. So Beth said this about Jennifer. She said, Jennifer loves what she does, and it shows in her outstanding work ethic she exhibits and the passion she has for providing both excellent food quality and customer service. I'll leave it. She is one of the hardest working and most dedicated employees I've ever had the privilege of working with in 28 years of food service. So that's what Beth said about you. Now, she continued to say that the nature of her job as assistant manager at the high school requires strong multitasking skills, which she showcases daily between the morning prep work, early in the morning, right, Jennifer? Early in the morning. Prep work, cooking throughout the lunch meal period, jumping in to serve or cashier when someone's out, and keeping up with the daily production records. Jennifer does it all with a smile. Jennifer wants students to have a great experience when they visit the cafeteria, and so when she finishes her 8-hour shift working in the kitchen, she volunteers additional time, make sure the cafeteria is being promoted with decorative signs, displays. She has a PowerPoint running, they told her, with all kinds of different things, highlighting athletics, activities, academics, and she does a great job at PHS. In addition to all that, her regular job, Jennifer's active in the school district community. She works the gate at most sporting events and volunteers in sessions. Through these activities, she's been able to get to know many students, which carries over in her interactions with the student body daily. She genuinely cares about the students and takes an active interest in what is going on in their life. She has a heart of gold and is willing to jump in and help wherever is needed. And Beth continues saying, I don't know how she fits everything she does in just a 24-hour day. And she has 4 children and husband, so yeah. Kudos to Jennifer, who exceeds expectations on a regular basis. So we want to give Jennifer our first ever Dragon Award. Come on up, Jennifer. Dr. Thomas, the board chair, come on. Congratulations. They're going to give you your card. Yeah, hold on a second. I'm working on my time. It's our inaugural one, you know. Go ahead.
That's great.
Thanks.
Thank y'all. Very well deserved. I know Mr. Wallace, me, any of us that have been around athletics or through the school can attest. It's very fitting that you won the first one of those. Now we're going to recognize the student. So one of the great struggles of our job, we don't get to see the students as much. So for Jaiden Stanfield, first student ever, Jaiden. How about that? We went and asked people, tell us about Jaiden, people that nominated her for this award. And this is what they said. I have been consistently impressed with Jaiden's intelligence and go-getter attitude. Her intelligence is demonstrated by her work in class and enthusiastic contributions to class discussions. The work she submits is always above and beyond the requirements. That's Ms. Catherine White, former board member. Mr. Estes, you guys know Mr. Estes, he's tough. Mr. Estes said, I had Jaiden last year, and I'm sure you know, for Honors U.S. History, Jaiden was wonderful in class, humorous yet serious about her grades, and always did her best on the many and varied tasks we had to complete. Jaiden was in so many ways a model student all around. And Mr. Estes don't give many compliments, Jaiden. Coach Rasco, he gives a lot of compliments. He said Jaiden is one of my favorite students who is always smiling, and has sharp wit, and is very dedicated to her education. Extremely intelligent young lady, and has a bright future. Ms. Buck said Jaiden is a quiet, diligent, and conscientious young woman. She works hard in the classroom and in her extracurriculars. She may be soft-spoken, but when she has something she wants to convey, she will strongly advocate for herself and her ideas. She has poise way beyond her years. Ms. Champion, the counselor, said, Jaiden is one of the kindest, incredibly hardworking, and most genuine students I've ever had the pleasure to work with. She's beyond worthy of any and all recognition she receives during her senior year. Highlights her integrity. I wish we were more students like Jaiden Stanfield in this world. Come on up, Jaiden. Great job.
Well, congratulations. That's exciting that we have those Dragon Awards. I love it. I love recognizing our good staff and good students, so thank you all for being here tonight. Okay, at this time, next on our agenda is Superintendent's Reports. So, Dr. Thomas, I'll turn the meeting over to you for our Superintendent's Reports.
Thank you, Mr. Lowe. At this time, we'll call up Amy Smith, our Chief Financial Officer, who's going to give us a brief financial update.
Thank you, Dr. Thomas. What we have for you tonight is a summary of our general fund. Ms. Martha has pulled up our general fund report, and I'm happy to report as through the end of December 2023, we have collected 61.62% of our budgeted revenue and expended 42.35% of our budgeted expenditures. If you scroll on down to consolidation of funds, these reflect expenditures through the end of December, and our transfers have been made through the end of November. I did change this up just a little bit. I don't know if y'all noticed, but I'm a little OCD about numbers. I added a line that has to do with the transfers. In the end, the revenue and expense should total 0. So when we have an outstanding transfer like we do for December, you're gonna see a negative amount over there on the right-hand bottom tier of this part of that report. But I wanted to try to create a more clear picture for you. But at year end, when we're done with all the transfers, everything across that bottom line should be zero across the board, so. The next category is debt service, and of course the school system has no debt. In our capital outlay account, we have collected $765,879.41 in SPLOST revenue for December. Interest earned was $1,168.59. Expenditures totaled $1,277,116.36, and that brought our month-end SPLOST balance at the end of December to $13,800,007.28. Special revenue, and I'll just remind you, those are mostly federal grants, school and our school nutrition department. We have collected 27.86% of our budgeted revenue and expended 49.85% of our budgeted expenditures. And don't panic about that. This is called a pull grant, pull situation, where we must spend the money first and then ask for the reimbursement. I always worry the people in the audience aren't going to know what that means, and it looks like we've overspent, but we have not. Do you have any questions? We also have one other report. Just a moment. And every quarter we present the school activities report by school. Reflects the revenue, expenditures, beginning and ending balances for each school in their internal school activity account. This is required by the Georgia Department of Education to be presented within 45 days of the end of each quarter. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, that's all I have for you tonight.
Thank you.
This time we'll call up Chris Wallace, our Chief Operations Officer, for a brief operations and construction update.
Thank you, Dr. Thomas. Chairman Lowe, board members, appreciate the opportunity. First, I want to start out with the PHS renovation modification process, kind of give you an update where we're at. We conducted interviews for the finalist construction managers this week, and just want to thank my team real quick. Ms. Smith, Ms. Bone, Dr. Shea, and Mr. Parker, myself, conducted those. Had 3 quality companies as options, and they made it tough. So that's always good when you have good competition there. And the recommendation has been made to Dr. Thomas, and we'll be requesting approval from you guys later in the meeting. We had the following factors were really what it came down to. Of course, price, percentage as far as what they charge to oversee the projects. And then the timeline of work completion, that was big for us because, you know, we have long summers now, so we want to try to get as much packed in as we can. And so that was a factor. And then being familiar with the facility and how we do things, that was a big factor as well. But they were pretty close. It was good to see people interested in doing our work, because you don't ever just want one company, right? So that was good. The field house that we have been talking about and getting underway, I am proud to report that we have the notice of intent land disturbance permit approved after numerous calls and inquiries to the EPD. And I have been in contact with a lady here in our planning and zoning office, and she told us that they're experiencing like 2 months behind delays. And so that has been, of course, the weather hadn't been very cooperative either lately, but we've had, you know, the holidays, all that. So it did delay that a little bit. Carol Daniel feels fine about where we're at. It's not really set us back. So they got all the equipment, culverts, gravel, a lot of things in place, and we are very close to digging out there. So proud to report that. Doing some demo and removal of some storage buildings that were there for the field equipment. So that's almost complete. Erosion control measures have been put in. And then Dr. Thomas will be, if he hasn't already, talking to you guys about a groundbreaking ceremony to have you out to make it official. That will happen in the near future. From operations, I would just like to thank all our staff and stakeholders, central office people that had to help, and then also our local EMA and sheriff's office, all the folks that help us when we have issues with potential road problems. I mean, you know what they say about weather in Georgia: if you don't like it, give it 24 hours. And we saw that this week because we went from torrential 4-inch, 5-inch rainfall, 24-hour span, to freezing temperatures, all kind of trees down, and having to deal with all those things. So we had a pretty busy week in that regard, and I just appreciate everyone's help being flexible as we work through those, especially Mark Harris at our EMA local director. He's been super helpful in informing me so that I can deliver that information to Dr. Thomas. And then the last part of the operations side is we are working on the sign logo change with the newer logo that we're using. And we're going to be updating the logo here, maintenance, transportation on our white fleet vehicles. So that's coming soon. Beth Thompson is at a conference the rest of this week. She wanted to make sure that I acknowledged Jennifer as well. And like Mr. Parker said, I had the privilege to work with Jennifer directly and Jaiden. So I know both of those individuals very deserving. So she wanted to send her congratulations to Jennifer and always speaks very highly of her. And then she's attempting to fill a few positions there in her department as well. So if you're interested, please come join her team. And then all I have from school health is her normal update that's attached. And I just wanted to point out there was 3,383 visits to the clinic in December in only 12 days of school. So a lot going on there, a lot of sickness that we experienced there. Hopefully people were able to get somewhat better over the break. And then the things of note in transportation would just be that, give you a heads up, we got some more surplus buses coming up. We have the new buses that we've ordered. We don't have them, excuse me, they've been built and they're getting outfitted with our specs right now. And then the schedule for the tablet installs will be hopefully over the February break, trying to do it when we have all the buses there at one time without interruption. So that's all I have for my part of the update. Is there any questions that you guys have that I can answer for you? Thank you.
Mr. Wallace?
Yes, sir.
We had spoken with Dr. Thomas about that roof at the gymnasium at the high school, and told him to proceed to get a bid.
Yes, sir.
To get us a bid and to move forward with replacing that roof. That was
Yes, sir.
faulty installation in the beginning, but they wouldn't honor the warranty.
So it has been an ongoing issue in some areas, starting to show up a little more present in some more pressing areas there. So we've had one company that has done visual inspection and been on the roof. We've got 2 more scheduled coming tomorrow, and then 1 next week and 1 the following week. So we're going to have 5 commercial roofing contractors look at it so that we get a perspective of all the options that are out there for us. And if it is a complete recover and removal, then that's what's best to make it right, and we got to protect our investment. So we'll be bringing that forth and then letting you guys know how that turns out, okay? All right, thank y'all very much.
Mr. Wallace. Starting in the fall, we had our principals from different schools come and share what they're doing right now in their school. And so we're going to continue that for the months of January, February, and March. And with us tonight is our Hill City principal, Miss Angie Kretschmar. So Angie, come on up and tell us a little bit about Hill City.
Thank you very much, Dr. Thomas and members of the board. Thank you, I'm short, so okay. Thank you for allowing me to come share with you about Hill City Elementary School and the great place that we have to learn. I want to thank Ashley Patterson, the assistant principal, for being here with me as well this evening as we talk about Hill City. So Ashley and I had the great opportunity of being new to our roles at Hill City and get to really talk about our mission and vision for the students at Hill City and where we are. So our mission for Hill City is that within our limitless pursuit of greatness, we will meet our students where they are and move them to grade level proficiency and beyond by empowering, equipping, and supporting them in a nurturing, loving environment. And so that is our goal for the year. And we want to make sure that every child leaves Hill City Elementary School academically and socially prepared for middle school. So everything we're doing with intentionality is making sure that we are accomplishing those goals. We told our staff at the beginning of the year that we really want to break this down into 4 areas. And so everything we're doing this year is based into these 4 areas. We want to meet our students where they are and move them. And by doing that, we are having an academic focus on both personalized learning and grade level content. We know that we have holes that we need to plug for our students. We have some students who are performing on or above grade level, and we need to meet them as well through enrichment. But also we need to have that hard academic focus on grade level content and mastery. We're working hard to identify root causes about why are our scores the way where they are, how did we get here? And then plan proactively, what can we do? Instead of being reactive, we want to try to be proactive. And then everything with intentionality. It's a huge thing we talk about. Like, what are we doing this for? What's the intention? What's the purpose? We also this year are working with this thought of no excuses, no limits. COVID's over, doesn't matter. Here's where we are. That's so what, now what philosophy. Here's where we are. What are we going to do about it? And removing barriers for our students and our families. We've noticed through that thought process of root causes that we have some barriers from our students and families at Hill City we're working on this year. Also, we're working to empower, equip, and support our students. And we're working really hard to teach our students perseverance and stamina. We've realized that is something that our students have lost the ability, they've just lost their perseverance and stamina. So we're working very hard to kind of re-equip them with those skills. Teaching our students to be problem solvers, teaching our students that they need to ask questions and explore. Don't just get information, but like really, you want to figure it out on yourself, on your own, or not just be given it. And then working really hard on that gradual release. So that I do, we do, and then you do model. So just some data just to share with you. This is our Fontes and Pinnell data looking from the lighter colored line in the fall and then the darker line in the winter. And what we see is what we want to see. We see our students who are far below or below decreasing, and our number of students who are on or above are increasing. And what I think is also important to realize here is the bar moves. So students who, like, let's say they were supposed to be on a level I to be on grade level at the fall. Well, it's not a level I anymore. It's 3 or 4 levels higher. So when these students are moving from far below and off of far below and at risk into on and above, that means they're moving above the expected rate. They're not just learning at the expected rate. They're having to do it more quickly. So we're super excited to see the trend down in the lower areas and the trend up in our higher areas. Same thing with our math IXL. Traditionally at Hill City, our students perform better in math than they do in reading. It's just how it's been historically for us. I think it's probably historically like that across the district. But as you can see, again, we are trending down in our lower categories and trending up in our higher categories that we want to see. And this is a whole school picture. We can break this down by grade levels, but I was only given 8 to 10 minutes, so I had to hit the high points today. And then this is a new piece of data that we have is our DIBELS data. And we're so appreciative of you for allowing us to have DIBELS. This is something that we, the elementary principals, really advocated for, and thank you so much. And this data has helped us to really solidify something we were seeing and concerned about. And we at Hill City realized our students are reading fluently at a much higher rate than they are comprehending. So what you're seeing here is 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade. The lighter color line is the percent of students who are reading fluently, proficiently. The darker color line is the percentage of students who are comprehending proficiently. That's a concern for us. It's something that we've been seeing as a trend for a little while, and it's something that we know we really need to look at the root cause of. And so DIBELS has helped us to even solidify more that this is an issue for our students. So what are we going to do about it? Well, we're going to meet them where they are, and we're going to move them. That's the whole philosophy. We're making some mid-course adjustments. We have realized that our students need to focus harder on reading deeply and responding to the text. They can read the words, but now we need to make sure they understand what it is that they're reading and can respond. So we've done a lot of training and work with our teachers. We have found a reading deeply planning sheet, and our teachers are using that for every reading comprehension lesson that they're doing with their students. And it truly takes them through 3 reads of a closed reading passage and really looking at and mastering those deep comprehension standards instead of just hitting it and moving on. It has a written response, so everything that they're doing in reading is going to have a response in writing. So that response to text to help us with our scores for our students. So we're being very intentional with the planning that we're doing so that we can be proactive and try to help our students to comprehend more deeply. Also, we've used RightScore this year, and we're very excited about this. And I wish you could, maybe do you have the PowerPoint in front of you so you can see these pictures? You might see this better, but we, with RightScore, they have an activity called SMORE. And this is how they teach the children the different parts of the writing process and what you need to have in your writing. And so the whole point is, if you don't have both graham crackers or whatever, like the ooey gooey part's going to fall out. So the graham crackers are like the opening and the closing, and then the marshmallow is like the meat, and then the chocolate is like the ooey gooey goodness, that elaboration. And so you have to have all of those pieces to have a good written piece. And so we actually did a pre-writing with our students in November, and it went off to RightScore. And then they got their scores back, and we actually, in 3rd and 4th grade, they took their own individual rubrics, their scored rubrics that came back from RightScore, and they built s'mores based off of the scores that they got on their writing. So you'll see on those plates that some students had little teeny tiny marshmallows because their marshmallow score wasn't as high, and some kids had big marshmallows. Some kids only had 1 graham cracker. Some kids had half a graham cracker. Some kids had lots of chocolate. Some didn't have any. And so because we wanted them to really see what we're talking about, and that you have to have all of these pieces to have it complete. So based on their pre-scores, when we did this in November, they built their s'mores. We'll take another one of these in April, and we'll have a s'more party again, and they'll get to see their growth. Don't worry, at the end of the day, everybody got to have a full s'more. We didn't hold them. You know, we didn't say, sorry, you can't have any chocolate. But, you know, we wanted to really put that to life for our students. So intentionality, those things that we're doing for a purpose. Also, in the spring, we will be doing Canvas uploads for our 2nd graders, where we are doing kind of like a Right Score Light. So those reading deeply passages, we will be uploading some of those with response to text, and so we'll be doing a kind of a pre-test at the end of February, and then in April and in May to really see the growth on that, to see if that works, and we need to continue on with that. Rhonda Lane, our academic coach, has gone to RESA and had writing training from the people who score the milestones. So now she has come back and been able to teach our teachers how those writing passages are scored. So when they're actually looking at writing passages in the classroom, then they are scoring it based on those same rubrics with that same mindset of how the people are scoring them when they're doing the milestones. So that way we're looking for the things that we need to be looking for. Sometimes what we think is important is not what other people think is important. And ultimately we need to make sure we're focusing on those things that are going to help our students to improve. So another thing that for us is huge this year is our contracted services, our parapros, and our intervention block. And I just wanted to share a few things with you. So for us, it's every person, every day, every minute. We have our contracted service contracted service people with us 4 days a week for a part-time and a full-time interventionist. So for us, that's 6 individuals, 5 of which are part-time. In the first semester, they provided 20 intervention groups and 5 classroom rotation groups 4 days a week. So with them, just because of the work done with those particular groups, 27 of our students no longer meet the needs to have intervention groups. So we have moved them out of where they are just because of the work with those particular individuals. And our K through 2 paras, again, that's 12 individuals that work for us full-time. They, in the first semester, provided 12 intervention groups and 12 small group rotations happening in classrooms. And because of that work, 12 students are no longer on our hawk list. Our hawk list is that group, like we're watching them like a hawk. So we're looking at students, they're not in RTI yet, but they're kind of bubbling and they're trending that way. And so we put them on this little list that we call the hawk list because we're really working with them and intervening and trying to be proactive so that we don't have to be reactive through RTI. So we have had 12 students that are no longer on our hawk list because of the work with these parapros, and we're so excited. So just in a nutshell for us, we've had 43 intervention groups that have run 4 days a week from October to December, and 12 enrichment groups that we have been able to provide for our students directly because every single person in our building, except for the cafeteria and the custodial, and I'd have them working, I'd have them in small groups if I could, but they have to cook the food and they have to clean. So, but if I could pull them off of that job, I'd have them in a small group too. So we've been able to provide 43 intervention groups and 12 enrichment groups because of that. So thank you. Learning and growing on the West End, something that Ms. Patterson and I have been super excited about. We've started this little like morning focus on the announcements, and so every day something different. Monday's Musical Monday, the students can give us a song that they want us to play on the intercom. Tuesday is Thankful Tuesday, and the students will actually provide for us things that they are thankful for, and we'll announce that over the intercom. Wednesday is Winning Wednesday. This is huge. This is promoting critical thinking. And so we provide a riddle to our students over the intercom. And we'll say, okay, caller number, and we pick whatever number that is, caller number 5 to the office, and your class wins. And so we'll give the riddle, and then the phones just start ringing off the hook. Caller number 1, sorry. Caller number 2, sorry. Caller number 3. And so it's so much fun. It's a huge competition, but it's promoting that critical thinking, that problem solving, that thought process. The winning class gets a popsicle party, and the winning teacher, I bring them a coffee of their choice the next morning. The phone rings off the hook to the point that we have to leave the office, go to the intercom, come over to the intercom and say, we have a winner, please stop calling. And then Thursday is Tell-A-Joke Thursday, and then Fun Fact Friday. Oh my gosh, Fun Fact Friday. Okay, like, I wish I'd have thought to take a video of this. So we say a fun fact, like, for example, a alligator can't lift his tongue. Why? And so if you can tell us why, we'll give you a hawk buck. And so the kids will then get on the internet, they will search, find the answer, and then they have 5 minutes to come to the office first thing in the morning, tell us why, and then we hand them a hawk buck, which they can spend at the hawk buck store. We've had to make new rules, no running in the hallway. We thought that was like given, but apparently it's not. So hundreds of students come running to the office. We stand there with our hawk bucks. We pass out hawk bucks. If they don't get it right, we tell them, nope, that's not right. You can go back and try again. You got 3 more minutes. And so just promoting that want to really research and not just somebody give me the information, but I have to find it. So it's super fun. We're so excited to do that. We've instituted our Reading Buddy program again. We're very excited about that. That went away with COVID, and so we've brought it back in. And you'll see a picture there in the top corner of one of our older students reading with 2 kindergartners. All of our ELA teachers are growing reader trained, and some of our math teachers are actually growing reader trained, which we're very excited about. And a large percentage of our teachers already have met the requirement for the House bill or are enrolled in programs. So we're very excited. We're trending in the right direction there. We just met with leadership team, and coming soon, we're going to have a student of the week, which is focused on a student who is showing perseverance. So we're just going to strictly look at the students who are working on and really showing us that they can persevere and do hard things, not just give up. And so we're going to be celebrating those students on our social media and announcing them on the intercom as well. Some other celebrations, you know, we love our ag program at Hill City, and we won the Pepper Palooza Challenge this year. Miss Chapman grew peppers, and there was a social media contest, and this picture was just put on our Facebook page and then was chosen as the Pepper Palooza winner. And so Miss Chapman got to go to an ag conference, and we were super excited about, and these are peppers that our students planted and harvested, and so we were very excited. In the center there, you see 3 sweet little boys who have mastered all of their sight words in kindergarten, and so they had a token to go to the token tower for to get a book, and just to see the excitement that they have mastered those sight words, and now they get to actually have a book of their own to take home. Just some celebrations that we have. And then something new we've started this year is Passing the Hawk. That's the picture you'll see lastly there. This is a Teachers Celebrating Teachers Award. Ms. Patterson and I have nothing to do with this. The first recipient was selected by our building leadership team. And so they actually presented the first Hawk Award. And then every 2 weeks, the recipient of the award picks the new recipient. And so then our teachers are actually seeking out and celebrating each other, our staff members, for the great and wonderful things that they do. And so we're super excited about that. And every 2 weeks the hawk gets passed, we send an email, then everybody responds, yay, we're so excited, great recipient, you know. And so we're very excited about that. I'm hurrying, I'm sorry. One of the other things that we worked really hard on this year, we really wanted our community to understand that we at Hill City Elementary School were a learning institution, that our job primarily is to teach children. So we have spotlighted on Facebook every single class at least once this school year, and we will do that again in the second semester. So just focusing on academic things that are happening. So every class has had a spotlight focus on our Facebook page about just the academic things that are going on in our building. We talked about removing barriers. We realized that completing forms online seemed to be a barrier for some of our families and parents. We decided at the beginning of the year to print our free and reduced lunch forms. All we did was make copies of them and give them out to parents at open house, which is something we hadn't done in a couple of years because we were asking them to complete them online. By doing that, we increased our free and reduced lunch by 20% at Hill City Elementary School. So 20% more of our families are receiving that benefit that they need, that they qualified for, but they weren't filling out the form. One story, even when we had the open house, we had a parent come up to a teacher with the form, and this parent said, I know I need to fill this form out. I can't read. Can you please help me fill out this form? And so just by having that form printed, the parent felt empowered enough to ask for help. And so the teacher was able to read the form and get it all filled out, show the parent where to sign. So just really removing those barriers for our families and our community. That's just one celebration we have. Community outreach, we're so excited about the grants that we get and all the wonderful things, and we appreciate all of the folks who give us all of the money because we love to spend it. We at Hill City also adopt a nursing home every Christmas. We are blessed that our community takes care of our families who are in need at Christmas time. So many organizations do that. So we don't have to at Hill City provide for our students at Christmas. So we adopt a nursing home, and we collect baby dolls and blankets and socks and hygiene items and sugar-free candies, and we put care packages together, and the students work on that, and then we actually take them to the nursing home in Hinton. And it's just such a blessing to our community and something that our students are able to do, and we love that. And then our little free food box. Wow, we had no clue the need for this box. And the construction class at the high school built this for us last year. We cannot keep this thing full. We fill it up in the morning. It is empty by the time I drive in the next day. I mean, guys, we are filling this thing up every single day. The top part of that box is full of hygiene products. I cannot keep soap and shampoo and washcloths in that box to save my life. So we are so blessed to have the Boys and Girls Club who did a canned food drive for us and gave us products to keep that refilled. We have a great community volunteer who helps us with this. But this outreach is needed in our community, and our community is telling us that because we fill it up and they empty it like that. I mean, sometimes we have people waiting while we fill it and they take things from it after we've done. So our community is in need of that, and so we're so happy that we can provide that for our students. So what's next for us? Well, we have a couple of goals. I would love to see Hill City turned into a Leader in Me school. A Leader in Me school is a school that looks at Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and it teaches our children how to be leaders and thinkers, to be goal setters, to be productive citizens. And so I would love in the future for Hill City to be a certified Leader in Me school so that our students can benefit from that great process. Also, we will be a repeat Title I distinguished school. We were there and we will get back. So we fully expect within the next few years to be recognized again as a national Title I distinguished school. Our staff is ready and we're going to get there. We also very much would like to expand our ag program. Ms. Chapman and I have been talking lately, and what we'd like to do is look into something our students can produce based from the ag. We do a lot with the vegetables, but maybe we'd like to look at like making goat's milk soap, something that we could then keep in our little free food box, but also maybe our students could sell, and then that money could be put back into the ag program. So we can put entrepreneurship along with our ag program, and so that's something we're looking to expand. And we have some ideas we're floating around. And we would love to add a construction class at Hill City. That is another huge, a lot of our parents in the community, in our Hill City community, have construction as a trade. And so we were inspired after we saw the video that they made featuring Hill City and another school in Metro Atlanta with their construction class. And so we would love to add elementary construction to Hill City as a class. So that's a goal for us as well, which of course we would need your help with all of that funding. So, any questions?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Come over to your school.
Anytime, we'd love to have it. Anytime.
This is phenomenal. I am just so incredibly blown away. You've just done a wonderful job in your leadership team, and I know it wasn't just you. I understand.
No, I mean, I would put any Pickens County School employee against any. I mean, I think our staff could go against anyone, but the staff at Hill City works very hard.
So many
and I'm appreciative
wonderful
of them.
opportunities for these students. I thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you for allowing me to do it.
Mhm.
Thank you. All right. I'm sorry, I have no idea how much time I used. But
I
thank
won't
you.
tell you, but,
Okay.
thank you, Mr. Kretschmar.
They'll tell me, don't worry.
Mr. Lowe, one more thing. I do have some superintendent comments I'd like to make. It's a couple of important announcements here. We do Prior to Christmas break, our district applied for a workforce preparedness grant sponsored by the Georgia Chamber with assistance from the Georgia State Department of Education. And we received news on Monday this week that we were recipients of this grant. And so the money will go to support our career field trip in February for some of our 9th, 10th, and 11th grade students to Chattahoochee Tech and Ackworth to tour their healthcare and industry facilities. And the grant will also help fund our career boot camp in March with some of our seniors who will visit both Chattahoochee Tech and Ackworth and the campus here in Jasper. And the Workforce Preparedness Grant has been designed to help local economies support future and current workforce needs, which aligns with our vision as a district to have every Pickens graduate either enrolled, enlisted, or employed after they graduate on May 24th of this year. And an added bonus, we were actually featured yesterday at the Eggs and Issues Breakfast by Governor Kemp. Our district was one of the 20 that recognized to receive this grant. We're really proud of that. Really proud of that. And then also congratulations to our Nets and our Dragons. Both our basketball teams went to Panama City, Florida after Christmas. Both teams competed and won the Marlin Invitational. Our Nets and our Dragons played and defeated teams from Tennessee and Florida en route to the championship. And our Nets also won the ETC Holiday Classic hosted by Fannin County prior to Christmas. And they're currently ranked number 3 in AAA. And we host Wesleyan tomorrow night, who's the number 2 team in AAA. So come out to the gym tomorrow night. And then just a few dates. We've got Monday is a holiday, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Birthday, so we'll be doing school on Monday. We have a work session on February the 2nd and then a regular board meeting on February the 8th.
Thank you, Dr. Thomas.
Yes, sir.
So now we'll move on to our action items, and we have the approval of personnel. So do I have a motion to approve the personnel action report as presented?
So moved.
Mr. Wigington. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Mr. Gartrell. Is there any further discussion? Okay. All in favor? 5-0. All right. Next on our agenda is the approval of construction manager for Pickens High School renovation project phase 1. And this is work that will be happening over the summer. This summer, some renovations, mainly, Mr. Wallace, this is going to be roofs and the kitchen.
Model
Right.
and HVAC equipment.
And HVAC, okay. All right. The contractor, I'm supposed to add this in, right, Dr. Thomas?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so do I have a motion to approve Carol Daniel as the construction manager for the Pickens High School renovation project phase 1 as presented?
I'll make that motion.
Okay. Ms. Finley? Do I hear a second?
Second.
Ms. Gibson? Okay. Is there any further discussion? Okay. All in favor? 5-0. Okay. Just write this in real quick. All right. And next is our consent agenda. And just so you know what's, we got approval of financial reports, an affiliation agreement with the clinical educational training with the University of Georgia, minutes from our following board members on December 12th, and 2 meetings on December 14th. December 20th, we were very busy in December and January. January 4th, January 5th, those minutes from all those meetings, and then also item D, approval of surplus. So,
Those surplus items are technology equipment for
Yeah.
junior high.
yeah, mainly Chromebooks, I think. All right, so may I have a motion to approve those following items contained in the consent agenda?
So,
All right, Ms. Gibson. Okay. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Mr. Gartrell. Is there any discussion? All right. All in favor? 5-0. Okay. All right. Next on our agenda is public participation. Dr. Thomas, have we received any requests for public participation at this board meeting?
No, sir, we have not.
Okay, very good. All right, next item, board comments. Anybody? Ms. Finley?
I would like to thank Tommy Gartrell for his service this past year. I know that it's not an easy job. He has done a phenomenal job leading us. And we hired a new superintendent, which I'm thrilled about.
As we
And
all.
I think we all are, yes. I didn't want to speak for everybody, but I think we all are. But that was a time of change, and Tommy did very well keeping the water smooth, keeping communication open, just checking in periodically, hey, how are you doing? What are your thoughts? That sort of thing. And he's really done a good job. And I've had the opportunity this past year to know our 3 new board members better. And I'm excited about the year ahead. I think we'll have good leadership and things will go well.
Thank you, Ms. Finley. So I just want to say, and I concur with that, thank you, Tommy. And just want to say too that, guys, we've been here a year now, but I'm super excited about where we've come in a year with Dr. Thomas, our new principals, the direction of our school system. I'm excited about where we've come, and I'm excited about where we're going. Any other comments?
Y'all flatter me far too much, but thank you. It was an honor to serve as chair of this board. This is a fantastic board, the different points of view, the different life experiences. As odd as it might seem, the chemistry of this board is really, really good. And the mutual respect on this board is just beyond measure. And this board truly has your children's best interest in mind. And that's the most important thing. And it's an honor to be here. Thank you.
Anything further? All right, our last item is to adjourn. Do I have a motion to adjourn? I knew I could count on Mr. Williams. Do I have Mr. Gartrell with a second? All right, is there any further discussion? All in favor? All right, this meeting is adjourned at 6:52 p.m.